Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for the podcaster who just thought, I don't put things on pillows, but I, come up with ideas for pillows or fictional autobiographies I'll write. And I just thought of this one. You can't open a can with a can opener until you take the can opener out first. I don't know if that's wisdom. It's probably, but some part of my brain said it should be in a book called Trite Thoughts. And I said, well, okay, but it's true. It's actually factual. You can't open a can with a can opener until you take it out. It's a reminder I really do need on a daily basis. I mean, not a daily basis about the, figuratively, because I don't really open that many. Probably open 2 cans a week. Oh, I'm supposed to be open. This is not even the opening for a sleep podcast. Oh, welcome. If you're confused, you're in the right place because it's time for Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. Hey, everybody, this is Scoots. I'm going to try to make this as short and sweet as I can. I'd love for you to get those good feelings. The number one reason patrons become a patron, support the show, they pay for a free podcast. It really is because of the feelings they get. Not only are they a part of the podcast and being there for everybody, I don't know, they feel good about it. They feel good about giving back for the sleep the show provides them and knowing, hey, this is a two-way street. But I think more than that, they feel like a rebel. It's so rebellious paying for a free podcast. They really, patrons don't laugh about it either. They say, we're paying for all the hard work that goes into the show. The fact that you've put out over 1,000 episodes, that's why we pay for the podcast. And also because we get a lot out of it. We spent thousands of dollars on other sleep stuff that never worked for us. But really, in the end, it comes down to those sweet, sweet feelings. If you want to feel good, if you're in a position to do so, think about supporting the show, $5, $10, $20 a month. Become an annual patron. You'll save a month on your subscription and you'll feel like a rebel with a cause. You could sign up at sleepwithmepodcast.com/patron. That's sleepwithmepodcast.com/patron, Patron. You could also check out all the rewards and stuff, but do it for the feeling. Do it for the rebellion. If you get a lot out of Sleep With Me, but you say, man, I want to get more. I want to get some good feels. I get good sleep out of it. I want to get good feels too. Support the show. You'll be a part of something huge. That's not just helping you. It's helping so many other people. And a lot of people do benefit from the free show. So think about it. Sleepwithmepodcast.com/patron. Thanks, everybody. Sleep With Me podcast is brought to you by Progressive. Are you thinking more about how to tighten up your budget these days? Drivers who save by switching to Progressive save over $700 on average, and customers can qualify for an average of 6 discounts when they sign up. A little off your rate each month goes a long way. Get a quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National annual average insurance savings by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2020 and May 2021. Potential savings will vary. Discounts vary and are not available in all states and situations. Hey, everybody, it's time to talk about tonight's sponsor, BetterHelp. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy, and we talk about BetterHelp a lot on the show, and this month we're discussing some of the stigmas around mental health. For example, some people think they should wait until things are almost unbearable to go to therapy, but that isn't true. Therapy is a tool to utilize before things get worse, and it can help you avoid those lows. A lot of times culturally we've been taught that mental health shouldn't be a part of normal life, and that's wrong. We take care of our bodies at the gym. We go to the doctor. People focus on their nutrition, and we should be focusing on our minds and our emotional well-being just as much. I go to therapy every single week. I've recommended this sponsor to people in my personal life. It has not been an easy few years, and one of the things about therapy is it helps you make things manageable, but then it can get you to a place where you could flourish. And either one of those has an amazing positive impact on your own well-being, but the well-being of everyone you come in contact with. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. And give it a try and see why over 2 million people have used BetterHelp online therapy. And Sleep With Me listeners get 10% 20% off their first month at betterhelp.com/sleepwithme. That's BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/sleepwithme, betterhelp.com/sleepwithme. Thanks, everybody. All right, everybody, it is time for the Sleepy Supporter Zone, one part of the podcast I need you here to where I pop my peas, if you please. I thank the listeners who supported the sponsors. That's how we're able to be here for you for free twice a week, is the listeners who let the sponsors know they heard about them on the show. They supported them because they support Sleep With Me. So if you want to be on the Sleepy Supporter Zone, support a sponsor, tag them on social media, send them an email, give them a call, let me know at sleepwithmepodcast.com/sponsors, like Zach, who supported Brooklinen and our former sponsor, Daily Harvest. Let them both know about it on social media. Tagged them, tagged me, elevated their support of the show. Thank you, Zach. The second part of the Sleepy Supporter Zone is you getting the support you need. There's links to resources in the show notes, including international resources you could connect with right now if you need it. It's also about being a part of communities and saying Black Lives Matter, saying Stop AAPI Hate with our actions, being a part of positive change. And there's links to organizations where you could get started in the show notes. And I'm also curious about what organizations have supported you or that you support. So as we go into this next year, I can put my resources and find out more about more organizations that are doing good work. So let me know about it. You can send me a message through our website contact form. And that's the end of the Sleepy Supporter Zone. Well, Mystery Bart, a lot of people help out on this show. Who are they?
Poster son sounds like an earful. Wrote the theme song. Edits episodes. Carl W. the legend. Also edits episodes. Ashley, Kenny, Scotty, Jennifer. Runner. Eric and the team at Astound are on the website. I am the mystery bard. I do the lullabies, yeah. I do commissions at jonathanmann.net. I'll write a song for you. Any reason at all. You can tell me the story and I'll make it personal. You see the kindness shine straight on through when the listeners form their own Facebook group. Keith, Stacy, Sarah, Julie, and Jennifer. These are your moderators. Get support dear Scooter on Patreon. Buy the merch and support the sponsors. You can find anything you want at sleepwithmepodcast.com. And we're so proud that we could dance. Rusty, Biscuit, Lois, Anna like banana. Leah does the transcripts.
Thanks, Mystery Bart. Don't forget, you can get free ad-free episodes by referring people to the show. Sign up for our referral program at sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer, R-E-F-E-R. Thanks. What do you say we slow it down and get on with the show? Hey, are you up all night tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble getting to sleep, trouble staying asleep? Well, welcome. This is Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. We do it with a bedtime story. All you need to do is get in bed, turn out the lights, and press play. I'm going to do the rest. What I'm going to attempt to do is to create a safe place where you could set aside whatever is keeping you awake, whether it's thoughts, things on your mind you're thinking about. So thoughts about the past, the present, the future, the room, your blankets. These are thoughts I had last night. So thoughts, feelings, anything you're feeling emotionally that's coming up for you. Like feelings about thoughts. It could be feelings about they could just be there. It could be physical sensations. It could be changes in time, temperature, routine, other stuff going on. A lot of stuff. And I know, situational stuff that doesn't feel situational. That's like somebody had to, even though some people have to remind me of that stuff, because sometimes when you tell people that, it doesn't feel true. Even when I'm saying it now, they say, okay, that's so here's something that only makes sense in the past. This too shall pass. Only makes sense in the past. But you know what I mean? You know, if you listen to this podcast, you say, Scooch, you're right about that. And it's one of those things that really just give me the advice in the past. I mean, I need it all the time, but you say you would only be thankful for it in the past too. You say, okay, after it passed, I said, yeah, you're right. So, where was I? Oh, this is a sleep podcast here to put you to sleep. It's full of advice that could be called trite or quaint. It could not be called quaint, my brain just said, but anyway, it's a podcast that's here to take your mind off stuff and put you to sleep. What I propose to do is, I'm trying to create this safe place. I'm going to smooth it. I'm going to pat it. I'm going to rub it down. I'm going to say safe place. Then I'm going to send my that's just to invite you in and say, hey, but then I move away from it because I want you to have your own space. Sometimes I forget to say that, but in my mind, I back away. First, I do a poof, smooth it, I pat it, I rub it down. Then when I say safe place, I do kind of a poofy move with my hand. And then a presentation move. Well, there's your safe place. I'm walking away. Luckily, I have, I do it in a clear pathway that I know that I cleared ahead of time, or it was on my to-do list. Clear the pathway from the safe place that you're going to walk backwards away from. And then you say, okay, now it feels more safe. No offense to you, Scoots, but I want, check out the place and get comfortable. I say, exactly. Then I'm going to send my voice across the deep, dark night. I'm going to use lulling, soothing, creaky, dulcet tones, pointless meanders, superfluous tangents. You've witnessed both of those. It means I'm going to get mixed up. I'm going to go off topic. I'm going to talk a lot of nonsense. All of it to keep you company and take your mind off of stuff so you could fall asleep. And that's the most important thing, so you can fall asleep. Now, this podcast does not work for everybody, but give it a few tries and see if it does. That's what most listeners say. It's like, hey, at first I didn't get it, or it got on my nerves, or I didn't like it, or I was wondering where it was going. And then on the second and third try, I realized, oh, it's more of like a passive boat ride through where you say, well, this is interesting. This is not bad. So, what was my point? Oh, so the reason the show exists is to help you fall asleep, because your sleep is important. You getting the sleep you deserve is the most important thing. Whether this show works for you or not, there's other sleep podcasts you could check out. Sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you. But the whole idea is that if you get the sleep you need, if bedtime becomes something that is less dreadful and more like neutral or maybe positive, and then you say, well, I'm getting some more rest. I feel more relaxed. At least, I feel more neutral about bedtime. And then you start to get the rest you need, that you deserve. Your world's going to be a little bit more manageable and ideally a better place to be in. And that means that's true for our whole world. It really is true. So that's important to me, to live in the fact that this is the other side of it, is I know how it feels. So the fact that I could be a part of maybe you feeling a little bit better about the world you're in, because I've been in a world that's similar, dreading bedtime, uncertainty, frustration, loneliness, a lot of other things. Like, if I can help you with that, that's important to me, because I know how it feels, and I know it will make the world a better place to be in. Even if it's a tiny bit, you say, well, if you feel neutral about bedtime, going from how I feel about it sometimes, even if it's like that, I guess it is like that baseball sport, right? Like, I can strike out and, I don't think I wouldn't even swing the bat most of the time, to be honest. I never talked about my little league days, because they really are, is there a word for a combination of humiliation and emasculation? And, because, and I'm empowered by it now, but, I don't even think I would really swing the bat, just because, I was worried. I was very concerned. But now I swing the bat, I guess, to put you to sleep. But even if it doesn't work, even if it just makes things neutral 33% of the time, that's like one of the better people in baseball, or the best, I think, if you're over 300. So, yeah, you say, wow, you're really, I'd say, yes, I'm looking to make your bedtime neutral 1/3 of the time. And then it really, but we're all laughing because you say, well, that would be actually thinking about it. That would be pretty good because you only work we'd be halfway. I don't know. I don't know what a third of 7 is. 2, 4, 6. Definitely over 2, like 2.3. So then we're almost, we're almost to we're almost halfway through the week, and we can build from there. So that's why I make the show. Let's see. Other things you need to know if you're new. This podcast does not really put you to sleep. It's here to keep you company and take your mind off of stuff. I'm here to be your bore friend, your bore bae, your bore cuz, your bore sib, your bore bud, your bore bestie. If you're, if you live in the coastal region, your Borbera. And, so I'm here to keep you company while you fall asleep. Even if you can't sleep, I'm here to keep you company. If you can't sleep or you need a break during the day or you just want to lie there and listen, I'm here to keep you company, whether you're awake or asleep. That is my calling. Also, the podcast is not really for listening. You can listen to it. Now, there are people that listen to it, but it's more of a podcast to be there where you can listen to it. You could listen to it. Instead of a should, it's a could. You say, I could listen to Scoots, but I don't really need to. Or I kind of barely listen to him sometimes. I listen sometimes, other times I'm not listening. I mean, that's how my listening is 99, like a 6, most of the time anyway. You say, oh yeah. Wait, what did you say? Oh, okay. I got the important part. You're frustrated with my listening. So what was my point? Oh, you don't really listen to it. Just kind of, some people barely pay attention and some people listen or some people turn it down to a mumble. So just kind of see how it goes at first. But if you're kind of waiting for the show to start or to get to the point or to get to a bedtime story or to get to something sensible or familiar, I guess, because this show's very different than most stuff, kind of just go along for the journey. Because this is a podcast that's always going and never gets started. I'm going nowhere, slow, going nowhere, fast and slow, but I'm always going nowhere. That's it. There you go. There's a new tagline for the show. Always going nowhere. Always going nowhere. That's somebody remind me of that. So what else do you need? Oh, structure the show can really throw new listeners off and it can be a natural source of frustration. So I want to talk about that. And it's understandable, especially if you're new. And then once you get settled into the show, then you can kind of start to make adjustments. But the show, it goes out to a couple 100,000 people. So it's kind of, the show's designed in a certain way, but you can make changes. But the majority of people use the show this way. That doesn't mean there's a wrong or right way to use the podcast. And it just kind of fits with the mission of the show. So the show starts off with a greeting. Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, can openers everywhere so that you feel welcome and seen. That's the start of trying to win over your skeptic or whatever. Then there's support for listeners because, like I said, you're important. So there's support if you're having a tough time right now. There's support for communities that the show exists in around the world and that I live in and that we all live in. Then there's support for the podcast. That goes with the goal of the show coming out twice a week for free so that paying for the show is 100% optional. And sponsor support and listener support makes that possible. Then there's the intro. So there's sponsor stuff. Then there's the intro. The intro goes on for about 12 to 20 minutes of me rambling to introduce a show, but it's different every time. So you can't quite adjust to it or whatever parts of you keep you awake. It's new every time, but it's also familiar. And it's around 12 to 20 minutes because for most listeners, it eases you into bedtime. It's part of your bedtime routine or your future bedtime routine. Whether you're listening while you're getting ready for bed, you're doing something in your bedroom, or you're in bed getting comfortable. I've learned for me that I have to plan that in for how much sleep I want to get is a wind down I don't know. I don't know if it's wiggle room. Maybe wiggle your toes. So you could wiggle in bed. It could be wiggle time, just like a landing strip. Like the bedtime version of dusk, sun setting. Now, there are people that fall asleep during the intro, and they look so lovely sleeping, and we're so happy for them. There's a small percentage of people that skipped ahead to like 20 minutes or something, or 30 minutes to kind of listen to the more story stuff or the Great British Bake Off stuff. And there's people on Patreon that listen to story-only episodes, but actually there's probably more people on Patreon that listen to all intro episodes, which is ironic, I guess. So you can kind of adjust as you like get used to the show, I guess is what I'm saying. But for most people, they kind of barely listen to the intro while they're doing something else, and then they get in bed, and then they start to fall asleep during the Great British Bake Off stuff. So it'll be the intro. Then there's sponsor stuff again, so the show can be free and come out twice a week. And then there's there'll be we'll cover an episode of the Great British Bake Off, and it won't be familiar. I mean, I guess it could be familiar, but for the most part, it'll be mildly entertaining. You say, okay, how many characters, like this one, a lot of alliteration coverage. And, say, Scoots, I don't think you know what that, and I say, you're right. I don't know what that word means. I have a general misunderstanding of it. I'd say it's not that I don't know. I just have a large area of misunderstanding about it. So that'll be that part. And then there's some thank yous at the end. So that's the structure of the show. You heard why I make the show. It's difficult. This is a difficult podcast to love. The only podcast, if you love it, you'd never hear it. Sleep With Me. But it is just hard. There's no other way to say it. This is a very different podcast. It's weird. And it's kind of for people that like quirky, strange stuff, or you just like calling somebody, or you feel lonely, I guess. Now, this isn't going to help everybody that feels that way. And I mean, for a lot of people, they're still in bed with somebody else they care and that cares about them. It's that they need their rest too, right? So I'm just here to keep you company, just like a friend would if you had a friend. But, your friend would need sleep. So I guess that's the reality. Not all of us have a friend that can talk to us on demand with new material twice a week, but that you could call on 5 times a week that has hundreds and hundreds of episodes ready to go. So that's where the podcast, that's the gap we fill. So I'm glad you're here to check it out and try it, or thank you so much for coming back again and again and again, all you regular listeners too. If you're new, give it a few tries, see how it goes. That's all I can ask. So I'm glad you're here. I really hope I can help you fall asleep. I yearn and I strive to do so. And here's a couple ways I'm able to do it for you for free twice a week. All right, everybody, it is time to talk about one of our longest running sponsors, Brooklinen. And congratulations, you made it through those holidays. Holy moly. You know what that means? It's time to treat yourself. Give yourself the comfort and relaxation you deserve with Brooklinen's lineup of cozy bedding and beautiful home essentials made for me time. And you've heard me talk about Brooklinen Backup, like changing your sheets on a regular basis is so luxurious. So how do you treat yourself? Well, it's simple. You start off the new year right, because you start off the new year well rested. Hit reset for 2022 with that Brooklinen Backup. Picture yourself sliding into bed, and not just any bed, a bed with Brooklinen's 5-star bedding. So comfortable, so good to look at too. And they have absolutely amazing options. I love my weighted comforter in the wintertime, because we all have our comfort quirks, right? And thanks to Brooklinen's Cloud Soft comforter options, you can pick the weight and size that's just right for you. And that way, if you're looking for a more comfy comforter, they have lightweight, all-season, ultra-warm for every type of sleeper and lifestyle. And like I said, they even have a weighted comforter option that's perfect for stress relief. I also personally find I love having the weighted comforter and then a comforter on top of it. Holy cow, in the wintertime, it is so relaxing. It really feels like my stress melts away away. I get comfortable. I get snuggled in. Like I said, I love my Brooklinen bedding. I love my comforters, a weighted comforter, and the sheets. So it's time for you to gift yourself some bedding, some plush towels. Refresh your rest with the comfort essentials from Brooklinen. And just go to brooklinen.com. Use that promo code SLEEPWITHME, one word, for $20 off your purchase of $100. That's BROOKLINEN.com. And use that promo code SLEEPWITHME for $20 off your purchase of $100. Thanks, everybody. All right, everybody, Scoots here. It's time for Great British Bake Off Biscuit Week, Collection 5. Sandy's at a table in a field talking. Another great day of baking ahead. Noel comes running in with a big bag of flour and a wheelbarrow. How'd you get in there? Self-raising. Then we have the teaser, but let me bust open my notes, too. We got Biscuit Week. Sandy sitting with tea. 11 remain. Noel wheelbarrow. Self-raising joke pun. Preview Stress City. Spirits down. Nolan Sandy, he's snacking. I want to look. He looks at the camera. 3 biscuit based. So we have alliteration 1, Prue and Paul. Alliteration 2, flavor filling or something. Alliteration 3, devilishly different. Alliteration 4. And then Paul thought on this one. Equally sized, color, hard and stiff all over wrap. Okay, so they're eating snacks. Where does, he's snacking. Did you eat all the biscuits? I thought I would do some eating stuff. Well, you do some speaking stuff. You take the biscuit, she says. That's when he looks at the camera. It's Biscuit Week. No crumbs left for Sandy. He even eats the crumb. Hands are the empty plates. Okay, so hard and soft all over wrap. That can't be right. Equally sized colored biscuits. But they have to do 2 24 sandwich biscuits. Bacon, pecan and malt. That's what Liam's working on. Sounds good. 50s love. Liam's love of malt. I love malt. Him and Mermprue talk about being given malt. So good. Soft snap. That's E4. I put E4, but I think that's already E5. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, devilishly different was 4. 225 grams. Bite Bakes biscuits. Pistachio extract via Russia for Julia. Matt and Ned. That's Julia's husband and their dog. I'll know soon. I don't know. Good question. I'm not sure who's like Matt or Ned. And Ned could be either one. I mean, Sandy flavors, talks about flavors and instant memory. I liked that. Chatting me up. Manage everything and nothing. Stephen talking Rome. I put a note to talk about that. Music and baking. Semolina flour. So we'll have to, right now Liam's on the screen talking. Cook your biscuit. So will it snap? Soft snap. They all laugh. I don't know what that means, but they're laughing like it was an innuendo. No. Okay, Yan is up. Peanut butter banana. Her wife's after Zumba snack. Caster sugar for a rise and fall. Bingo wings, question mark. I don't know what that means. Start chilling. Steam Jones and Tone. Shalpel. One hand piping. Okay, the dog is Ned. I just confirmed. James accuracy. Ollie and Ethan. Viennese whirl. Base of biscuits. I guess that's another alliteration I didn't even notice. And peanut butter banana. Butter banana. Keen eye. Tom. Something in amaretto. Flow filling. That's E6, but way more. Raspberry gin. Gin jam. That might be the alliteration of the episode. Gin jam. Okay, Steven's talking about Rome. Coffee and an amaretti biscuit. Warm Sunday morning, bells tolling, incredibly romantic. Steven loves to listen to music, but I'm not sure what he's listening to. I think electronic. Okay, so I'll let that run. Base of biscuits. Oh, yeah. Gin jam was my favorite. Bit of booze. There's so much alliteration, I can't even keep track. Noel has a bunch of jokes about how gin makes him weepy, which is funny. Looking at pictures from Yan's wedding right now on the screen. Banana cream filling. Scientific tricks up her sleeve. Chris is talking high season whiskey. Spandex, no help. Or maybe he says, Sandy, are you going to help me? Sophie talking. Bond. Oh, Sophie sounds like she was teaching skiing. And I was like, it sounded like she was training people to be in a Bond movie. So I put teaching Bond villains to ski. Not exactly. Lemon cream. Is that true? Right now, James and Tom are piping. Two bakers piping. Chilling your dough. Won't ooze out. I liked that. Stacy, marshmallow fluff, edible, glitter, tastes the bling. Paul and Stacy do not get along. Or she's just not having Paul's kind of aggressive, passive aggressive behavior. So she's really assertive. She's and she doesn't, I think she actively doesn't appreciate his little games. So, and I don't know if that's the best approach or not. I just like it. Rod's doweling his guide. Weight you gravity sconce. Liam uses a ruler. So this is everybody's doing different piping or measuring. So, because their biscuits have to be the same size. Love a lot of biscuit. Right now, Tom's working on coffee and amaretto kisses. Amaretto buttercream chocolate ganache. Kate and Flo have molds or what we would call a cookie cutter, but that they've self-designed or chosen. Flo's working on her filling, raspberries and raspberry gin. Gin jam, there you go. Gin jam, hers look like slices of bread, biscuits. Reading furniture, refurnishing furniture. Then something I can't read. Francely with family. I don't know. We'll get there. Rum, coconut, pineapple, a pirate's biscuit. Relative. This is Kate, or some of it's Kate. Well, Chris is actually weighing his whiskey, though, at least. He has a passion for the high seas. Okay. Baking time and stress. I'm over. Only one oven. Stress, counting in Russian. Rotating, Liam, all start to rush. Stress music, Julia, horse sand that I too. Assembly. That's correct. Horse sound. She makes this sound with her mouth that I do when I'm stressed, or when I'm trying to and I've never done it on the podcast but it sounds like a horse when they just let out air and their lips kind of make a noise. And I guess this is an aside moment because this one time I was playing at someone had one of those poker parties back when the poker craze was big. Or poker tournament, multi-table tournament. Wasn't that expensive, but it was expensive enough, I don't know, $20 or $50 to play. And, I'm not very good at poker, but at the time, I was reasonably okay. And so I'd got to the final table, like they say, and we took a break either halfway through the final table or during it. And and there was one person that had the most, money, and they were also kind of the biggest personality, but they were also a little bit they played more by the seat of their pants, I would say, and by their personality than by a specific strategy. Other than that, not that well, I mean, that's just something you can work with. So but they're also like one of those people that's like not always nice, but kind of in a harmless way, because you can tell they feel like they're doing it because they feel. So I was in the bathroom in front of them, and I was trying to get myself ready for this last round of like the last table, because that's when because I was like I was more than a little bit behind, but I wasn't like, I was in an okay place. And I made that horse sound, and they were listening into the bathroom, and they thought I was sick to my stomach. So they like went and told everybody at the table, and actually, but there was like so much else going on, and I heard them kind of do it. It didn't really bother me, because I was like, who would do that? One, because this is like, we're in our 30s. And then two, oh, well, okay. Like, now it's on, so I don't know. Whenever I think of that horse sound, I just think of that moment. It always brings me back, but I still do it. So anyway, Julia horse sound, piping bags, Sandy tastes like chocolate, Flo done early. No, not good, probably. Oh, here's cakes, coconut shells. Oh, Titanic afternoon tea. So that's probably what I was trying to remember, is that Kate had a family member in the Titanic in the engine room. She researched recipes, and these were actually served coconut sandwich biscuits were. So, and they said, wow, you're in her relative, was with us, did not big farm. So I think that's what I was trying to note there. Okay. Sandy's cheering them on. Makeup. Oh, then they talk about this glitter that with, like Paul just can't get over it. And so Noel's like, why don't we make up Paul like David Bowie with glitter? Then Steven's kind of getting some help from everyone. If I can't, well, I'm not sure. Tom, or no, I did put, no, Tom's getting help from everyone. And Tom's still trying to finish, and Sandy's like, put everything down more than once. There's a lot of sighs or shires. And then other things, Liam and Flo input true. I don't know what that means. And then eventually judging will come up on the screen, but we'll get a little bit ahead of it. Starts with Liam, I think, because I can't read my handwriting, but uniform, tick, 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 all the things, squishy, very interesting kick, good, too something. And so Paul says, see me, like he's a teacher or something. Too chewy or too something, CH. Then James goes almost there, something delicious, quality, something else fantastic, I think. Then close. I don't see anyone that has a name with clues is what my handwriting looks like. Rich, bitter, too much. Yan. Even, filling a set, fantastic, perfect. Then Flo, little squishy, biscuit hard, no gin flavor. Unflavored or something? I don't know. Not good, basically. Steven, love the cherry middle. Impal, sizes, bit plural. Like I said, sometimes Kate, icing, dovedly, tough, but flavor good. I think our icing is probably lovely, is what they say. Stacy, look amazing, neatly filled, taste goods, clear, well done. Sandy's eating whiskey chocolate now and saying how good it is. And Chris is trying to be like flirtatious. Julie, Jello Jiggler. So hers are Julia. No, sorry, Julia. Hers are jiggly, scruffy, too much, moist font, more yeast. Probably none of that. I mean, it was definitely jiggly. They are having fun with that. Sophie, okay. It looks like Sculpone. My handwriting. 24, identical. Look remarkable, delicious, like the citrus and Waldorf. Yeah, Tom, size is good. Triumph. Sandy, not happy with Tom's behavior. Then we go to the talking heads. Tom and Stacy are happy. Put glitter on face. Stress Liam and someone else. Yeah, we'll see the judging in a second. We'll go to that. But then they go back to the tent. Paul, don't fold off. We pop. Do fortune cookie. Must. Have for something. Double bake. Lots of hand holding. Faff. Too much of faff. I don't know what faff is. Almond and orange. Stacy says that. Table talk. 2 or 3 at a time. Liam's complimenting Flo's cookies, or biscuits, I guess. Sorry, biscuits. Judgment time. Signature sandwich biscuits. So Liam's up first. I want to have these malted pecan shorties. Tick, tick, tick. So what was the thing? I said, let's have a look. Paul bites. A bit squishy. He's crumbling. Actually, a lot happening here. Rue's like, this has got a kick. I like it. But this is a meal. Too chunky. Oh, that's what it says. And then Paul says, see me. Everybody laughs. He laughs. James, rhubarb and custard whirls. They're 24 identical. Very delicious. Vanilla. Getting the rhubarb, which is lovely, Prue says. Get the custard, but the vanilla. Quality biscuits, fantastic. He exhales. Chris, chocolate chia seed biscuits. Rich bitter chocolate. Whiskey is too strong. He thought, so he tends to cut people off with complimenting himself, and then it backfires. Yan, Miss Marion's P, B, and B biscuits. Perfectly even, bit oozy. No denying banana and peanut. If the filling would have set, it would have been a fantastic biscuit. Flo's gin jam booty buddies or something. Squashy. Biscuits hard. Worked it too much. No gin. Could have been wonderful. The jam's nice. Stevens biscuits, quite chewy middle, crisp on the outside. Love it. Irregular sizes, though, Paul says. Flavors and texture of almond and coffee together. Chewiness in a bite, perfect. Then Kate, oh, she's got a nice, icing's dodgy. Oh, yeah, they say it's dodgy. Tough, it's offering me a fight. It's too tough. A story of two halves. Pineapples there, yum. Then we're at Stacy, sparkly fluffs. Look amazing, thank you. Consistently, neatly filled. Bit concerned about the glitter. Paul bites it, puts it down. Tastes great. Crispy on the outside, cookie-like on the inside. Marshmallow set beautifully, so when you bite in, it doesn't pour out. In fact, with the fluff, got to be careful not to be too sweet. Sandwich biscuit ticked all the boxes, thank you. Then Julia's dancing biscuits, because they kind of have like a jello jiggler. They all laugh, boing. They all, laughing. Bit scruffy, though. Very different, but everything's a bit strong. Too much, Bruce says. Not particularly pleasant, but daring of you. And most fun, jiggling it, Sandy says. Then we're at Sophie's, lemon limoncello. 24 identical biscuits. You succeeded. Look incredible. Clean lines. 2 sides. Paul bites. A bit of drippage. It's delicious. Thank you. You can really taste the limoncello. Beautiful flavor. Beautifully cooked. Tarts. What's not to like? Wonderful. Thank you. And then we go to Tom's. Like the size. The bake looks good. Tell us about the filling. Chocolate ganache on 2 sides, and then coffee and amaretto. Biscuit dough's a triumph, Bruce says. Thank you. Never mind about running out of time. Sandy says, just move on, Tom. Like, you're like, so I don't think he actually got it done, but they gave him a little wiggle. He says he feels good. He's happy. Stacy's happy. She needed a boost. And, now I'm getting everybody mixed up. Julia's a little stressed. Liam's stressed, because he's constantly getting this feedback, and he's kind of getting treated like a kid. He doesn't say that, but I'm saying it on his behalf. But he says, I got to put these two things together. Then we go back to the tent. Where are we at here? 2 or 3 at a time. Oh, my notes. Short time to shape snap. This is Paul saying everything. Don't fold under pressure. And Sandy says, off you two pop. 12 fortune cookies. We got to do 12. Bruce got a glass rule. Write 12 things, quite punchy. Really make it out. Mixer versus hand mixer. And Noel says, I'm sure you all got mad skills on your mark, get set, bake. But everybody's here. What the heck? 2 circles, smooth it, pat it down, say safe place, 3 minutes in the oven. That's how long Yan's doing 5. Sit and monitor. Padre the seal, hard to shape. Okay, so shaping these was like shape and math, nuzzle, the ones who got it, make it look easy. So it is technical, like Paul's telling Prue right now, because you got to time it, you got to time the bake. You also have to shape them right as they come out, which I still don't understand. I think you just fold it and then you shape it on the rim of a glass. You fold it again on the glass. Wouldn't work for me. I mean, that's not my area of expertise. Dexterity, and they got to have a snap. They show Paul and Prue, one is orange and one is almond flavor. And remember, this is Prue's first season, so she's like making jokes with Paul about if she'll have a job. Okay, we're make it look easy, but panic. Got hard for fist, or got hard fast. Yan exhales. I already forgot how they did it. Oh, that was my own note. I think the first person to do it is the dad character whose name escapes me. Cornish pastry, can't do it, but you can't give up. Right now, everybody's going through and looking at how are they going to do it. Hazelnuts, flow down, now laughing. Stacy frustrated. Stacy, they say, Stacy, you got to take advice from your own things. Orange circle, pattern with stick, disguise, a haddock on wars, half an hour left, so bad, that's it, ish, last batch, flows fine in dipping and nutting, that's curd. We got oven monitoring going on now. Liam down, chin up, and then they do the judging. Right now in the show, people are trying to figure out how to fold them. James is the person who figures out how to fold it first that they show. And again, no one knows how to fold them, so it's really hard. If you've made them before, you have a huge advantage. So number 1, they say shape even, crack, almond. Number 2, even shape, rubbery, delicious. Number 3, not enough color, cracks well, but thick. Yeah, some people are trying to shape the circles, but James is like, okay, fold it and squidge it. Oh, Sophie's doing it too. And then you put them in something to hold them. Raw batter, number 4. Number 5, cracked, nice something. Number 6, raw, lost its shape. Number 7, pretty good, nice bake. Number 8, better factor, rubbery. Number 10, you're gonna poo candy floss. That was Sophie's. She has the best things. Not really sealed. Crack is good. 10. What are these? This is a right mess. These are flows. Raw, but a good almond flavor. 11. Pretty baked well, crispy. No flavor, though. And then we go into the placements. I don't know, let me see if I can figure this out. We got, in first is Yan, second is Sophie. I don't know. I don't see Kate on here. Looks like Julia, Tom, Steven, Liam, Kate. Oh, there's Kate, Stacy, Flo. So I don't know. There's a couple people missing. And right now, yeah, Stacy's frustrated. And Liam's like, what are these? And then we go to the talking head sequence. They got 1 hour left on the screen, though. And everybody's orange essence, orange food coloring. Don't put too much in, though. This one's going to hurt a little. Is that what that says? Dill tart a little? Sheep. That's probably the talking. It's cold morning that they arrive at the tent. Some people are taking their jackets off. Showstopper. Sandy's excited about it. So is Noel. Willy Wonka stuff. Biscuit board games. More alliteration after I stopped paying attention for a while. Must be able to play. So it's a biscuit board game that you have to be able to play and eat everything. 3.5 hours. Also, at this one, I noticed how good, like, the post-production voiceover is in mood setting, because you have Noel and Sandy's normal, like, fun interaction, but, like, especially Noel's, both of their voiceover, like, really does add a lot, and it's very soothing and calming, like, in the midst of the chaos. And also how, like, well the story is told through editing. I mean, that's kind of a key for, like, reality game shows, really how they build the tension and stuff. So Paul and Prue, neat Riddle, Legablug, got to take good, Three Burrows dare, Three Does done. Oh, yeah, Three Does done. That's alliteration. Now Liam's on the ground, a little down. They're doing the judging. Robust to play with, but texture that is good. And they're doing the judging. Julia's, they like to crack, keep smiling. I could taste the almond and the orange. Steven, a little bit rubbery. No crack, but delicious. Slightly underdone. Kate, moving on. No coloring. Cracks well. Break your teeth, though. They're thick. Who's that guy? I don't know. The sailor guy. They spit it out, both of them. Raw batter. Tom, strong. Needs to be stronger color. Cracked nicely. Nice flavor. Just need more color. Stacy, quite raw, lost their shape, no snap, they're not baked enough. The father figure, nice break, nice flavor, rather good one. Sophie, look good, beautiful, good little heart, good crack, little rubbery. Are we going to say this today? You'll mostly poo candy floss. And then Paul says, you will get bored of writing for fortune. So you got to give it to somebody that's funny and willing to do it. Liam, not a happy picture, they say. Don't think these are ready. They didn't seal up. Beautiful crack, just not the right shape. Flow. What are these? I've made a right mess of this. Is that really fortune or not? Or did Paul just make it up? The raw almond flavor, Yan, very pretty, cylindrical shape, broke very well, coming through nicely, crispy, nice flavor, very good. So yeah, then they go through do the judging, as we said. So let's get back to the worms and ladders is what Sophie's making. I've sort of done it before. She's doing her board of different, like instead of using, she's going to make her board kind of like chocolate and vanilla squares, but she's going to make them instead of frosting them and then flood it with royal icing. Ignorance is bliss. Tom is doing the same idea, but with Carmen butter. Naive, childlike time. Who needs it? What does time even mean? I don't know what Carmine butter is. Cop It is a game that I can't think of the father figure's name, but his wife had played as a kid. It looks a bit like the game Trouble we play in the U.S. Coppentine. I don't know what that means, but they have board game night at that house, and the kids like playing it. Oh, competitive because they have two boys. Stacy has her own game design called Get to School with a good boy star biscuit if you win. Breakfast bagel. That can't be right. Breakfast something. Kate, obscure grains of paradise. It tastes a bit like gin. She's a 90s person, so she wants to play she's going to make a Jumanji game. Orange cardamom. Flo is trying to kickstart a recovery. I think she has a game, Pick My Bones, old Mr. Neverwell. A game where, you play with the Adam's apple, water on the knee, $1,000 fee. I love Flo's laugh. Bring it on. Board baked early. Intro over. Invite over. Julia is designing the British baking game with ginger and lime. You adventure in bake level. Liam, Match Hadaway, had a cookie in a tin. Showstopper gets 100 playing pieces to operate. I think some of this is Liam and some of it's Steven. Little Hats. Liam, 3 sets of game pieces. He's making a multifunctional, loads of pieces. Classroom classics, on a chalkboard, edible chalkboard. Lemon, ginger, and honey, because there's comforting flavors. Chris is doing the Great Badando Thor. That's what it looks like. The Great British Sail-Off, dice, bit big, it needs 6 hours. Can you give me 6 hours? No. Steven has even more pieces. This is intense. Cotton gingerbread class, 3D design. Right now they're showing Tom's pipes and ladders. Bit childlike. Shall we call it naive? Let's call it naive. Have you nailed your timing? Not at all. Your free spirit, time, who needs it? What is time? It's just a construct. If Bruce says you ran out of time, say, what does time mean? Well, James is a father figure. He's talking about copy right now. Steven's working on 1,000 pieces, 90 minutes remaining. Then we get an outside shot. Stuff starts coming out of the oven. People are double checking. Stacy, Liam, Fahrenheit sticky job. Shop bought fondant as Tom is using, but more people were using it. I think Flo was one of the few people that made her own fondant. Liam's working on chalkboard icing, pieces, crackage times 2. So different people's bakes are cracking. Me bakerize. Stacy, right now they're showing Stacy's back to school. Looks tasty. It's going to have freeze-dried strawberries on it, which Flo's a little concerned about. Chalkboard icing, pieces, crackage. Me base broke, Flo says. All Hera Orge over hours, assembly. Rustic color, filling spray, nervous breaths. A lot of breathing. There's always a breathing segment. Hot sugar, more problems. I mean, tell me about it. This is how I've lived my whole life. Hot sugar, more problems. Cats, Mondays, chest shirts. Innocent Tom behind Sophie. Sophie behind. There's a little bit of poetry there. Let's see. We got some icing. Oh, this is Kate. Just bear in mind things. Flo's hoping her choice can kickstart her recovery. So that was right. She doesn't do anything easy. For an almond biscuit, vanilla biscuit table, colored fondant, she's making herself, borders around it. It'll look just like the game. Music, playful versus neat, 5 minutes, breath, stress, Dutch, graceful underneath. Oh my goodness. Time, powerful piper, rush. Stomach. Oh, so at this point, when I started looking at everything coming together, like, this is my wheelhouse, is like iced cookies, biscuits, buttery biscuits. So my stomach was growling. Time is up. Oh, lots of sad judgment time. And we start with Sophie, biscuit board game. It's a nice alliteration again. Neat, equal dice, love the flavor. It works, crispy or craspy, good job. Then Tom, love the colors, neat, lots of, I just noticed, I started noticing how good the reaction shots were at this point, like building who's going to come in last, who's going to come in first, how are other people relating, how are other people feeling. But then too soft, far fast, drainage of far fast. Let's see, Julia, game mess, biscuits, pelicans taste good. Yan, broken up, lemony guide, rubbery. Liam said he's going to power up. James, love colors, bang in the face, texture's nice, Chalan, good, nice time. Liam's making his 3 sets of pieces on the screen. Cocoa icing. That could be another undercover name for me, cocoa icing. Like, especially if I'm traveling in, like, should I do that in, like, tropical regions or northern, like regions towards the poles? You could call a hotel, you say, "Hi, I'm trying to reach cocoa icing." And I'd answer the phone, I'd forget. So then I'd say, "Hey, call back again." And then I'll answer. I'd say, "Hey, this is cocoa icing. Can I help you?" Cocoa icing here. Yeah, I'll be dancing later under the name Noir Chardonnay. Now played by Cocoa Icing. Maybe it could be Cocoa Icing I had a dog named Coco, but when I say Cocoa Icing, it creates a lot of times you say, okay, when I think of Coco, I think of my old dog Coco. When I think of Cocoa Icing, I think of something, I think of myself well-adjusted. Okay, Flo, Mr. Neverwell, look striding, messy, not a lot of deflation surplus, but does the job. Chris, compose, works, rough and ready, burnt flavors, okay. Kate, messy swamp, now not getting the grains of paradise, solid. Liam looks unfinished, fantastic, delicious, absolute elation, more decorate, something, star of the show. And then Knights and Crosses, Liam and Paul play, and Liam lets Paul win. James, help, sorry, exceptional, sublime, masterpiece, great bake, tastes delicious, neat as a pin, well done. Stacy, neat, beautifully done, chewy, raspberry, not much flavor, too much icing, dry as a bone. Then they go to the reaction shots, table talk, which we'll do. Sandy loved this challenge. Chris, Stacy, and Kate are and Flo are on the bottom. Not as clear cut, but they know who the winner is. Star Baker. Paul eats Sandy's head, which was part of a game. Thank you. She baked excused. Dental Steven. Oh, Star Baker. Sandy has a tough job. So let's see. We'll run through the judging here. Right now, everybody's trying to get their jobs done. Showstopper. Running out of time. Anything they can help with. How are your piping skills? And Noel, I'm known as a powerful piper. And everybody's very focused, trying to get it done. 1 minute left, and then the time is up. Groaning, frowning. Tom's trying not to touch his thing. People tossing their things. Not everybody's in a great mood. And then an outside shot. And then it's judgment time. Bring up your Sophie, go first. She brings hers up, as we said. Looks pretty good. She's kind of trying to fight off, smiling, beautifully neat. And you didn't have to ice the whole thing. Blocks look equal. Dice look good. Got to try it. They do zooming. Tom's reaction shot. Sophie, lemon bergamot. It works. And it's a classic game. And a very, very good job. Tom frowns. I don't know why they did Tom's reactions there, but Steven says, well done. Oh, because Tom's next, I guess. Love your colors. Bright, terrific, neat. Mixed spice board. They bite it. He's waiting. We see Steven and Sophie's reactions. Tom's eyes. Christmassy and spicy. Too soft as a biscuit, Paul says, but overall design's fantastic. Then we go to Julia. Paul tilts his head. She breathes her nose. Disappointing, Prue says. Biscuits are delicious, but not too much ginger. Texture's good. Then Yan. They show her. They show the board. They show Noel and Sandy. It's pizza broken off. It's just a bunch of biscuits with numbers on them. Lemony one's lovely, though. Biscuits overworked, rubbery. Matcha comes through. Then they go to James's Coppet. Love the colors. They're my kind of colors. Bruce says, bang in your face. Love that. The cones almost worked, but they're falling apart. And you got to play the game quick. Bruce says his texture's nice to eat. Paul likes the chocolate. Flavor's good. Game is a nice idea. And they say, Flo, do I have to bring it up? She jokes. And she presents Mr. Neverwell, not surprised. They all have a laugh. He is able to pick something up and take it out. Looks striking, bit messy. You made your fondant, but you didn't have to. And they take a bite of the biscuit. Everybody, Liam to Flo reaction, and the not a lot of difference between the two in flavor, but they're both crumbly, break easy. No chew to it. Simplistic does the job. Then they show. Then Kate says, "Well done, Flo." She says, "I'm going to bin bag my thing." Then Chris's sailing game, compass works. So they're very impressed with the compass. He's got shots all around the thing. Rough and ready. Colorful, which is good. Landmark is rum and ginger. Scotland leaving England. They laugh. They take some bites. Biscuits are burnt. Flavors are okay. Most impressive thing is your compass. Which, he said that's not my strong suit. Flo laughs. Kate goes. And she said, I didn't get a time to finish the decorations. Looks like a swamp. They take the lemon in paradise, not getting the grains of paradise, can't taste them. It's a bit solid. Not going to be a huge pleasure eating this. They go Tom, Liam, Chris Flo reaction. Then Liam goes, looks a bit unfinished, but that's part of the thing. Could have decorated a little bit more. The game pieces. Then we get a bunch of reactions out of Kate, Chris, Liam. Fantastic flavor. Lemon, honey, and ginger, delicious. Tricky to do, too. But, I mean, he got it looking like a chalkboard. Absolutely delicious. The cinnamon and cardamom, crumbly, melting. Like to see more decoration, but the biscuits are the star of the show. Then let's play some noughts and crosses. Is it not? Oh, I guess 0, noughts and crosses. And Paul let Liam win. I don't know. We see a shot of Flo. His is really big, too. It's a chalkboard. He's like, dude, I'm going to tie one on tonight now that I'm safe. Steven needs help bringing his up because it's so well done. I mean, he's got basically a real working 3D chess set. And they take a look at it. It's like a piece of art, exceptional. They move the pieces around. It's got tops, very sublime, delicate tops. They start eating it. He gets worried. They show Sophie. They show Tom. They show Steven. Great tasting gingerbread. Fondant's not too thick. They take some more bites of the board. They wait. Orange flavor's delicious. Neat as a pin. Holy mackerel. Bruce has to sigh because she says it's so well done. And Liam and Tom and Sophie all say, great. Stacy goes up. She puts hers down. It's a made-up game called Get to School. 3 boys, 3 players, because I got 3 boys. So neat, beautifully done. Like the school blazer. Piping is good. They take a bite of the blazer one. A chewy, rubbery. Not much flavor. Then they bite the board. From an eating point of view, it's too much icing. So she puts her hand over her face. We see Chris. We see Stacy. Paul's not done. Dry as a bone. Crumbles into nothing. We see Flo. Flavor and texture is not so wonderful. She goes off. She's down. We see Kate and Flo are down. Chris takes a drink of water with Stacy. Yen's actually in the background talking to somebody. She's in a good mood, though. Table talk. We have 4 people. We cut them all into bits. Sandy loves the challenge. Incredible array of imagination and skill. Peru notes, Stephen, holy moly. Tom was very picturesque. Sophie's as well. Taste of hers was divine. Chris was already in trouble. Never got close to finishing anything. Stacy's looked good, but biscuits were dry. Kate struggled. She didn't finish hers. Too ambitious. Flo didn't go great. So not clean cut as you think. So we're going to have to have a conversation about who's going, but Star Baker should be easy. Paul takes a bite of Sandy. That was written in, it looks like. Then with the sun setting, bakers are sitting. Everybody comes out. Sandy, Noel, Brew Paul. See Flo's face. See all the bakers. You see they're getting ready to announce Star Baker. Sophie's reaction, 'cause she was close. Then Stephen. Then Tom. And then they say Stephen. He smiles, but like a struggled smile, kind of like me. Then Sandy's like, I got to say who's leaving. We see Kate. We see Stacy's hands in her face, and she's breathing through her nose. Flo and Kate, Flo again. And then they say Chris, and he says, what a surprise. Let's have a hug. And we get to the end of the episode hugging. And he's like, yeah, I'm a bread baker, man. Pastries are my thing. So I didn't get a chance, but it was honor and a privilege. The sun's setting behind him. And Paul says, too bad. He's got fantastic ideas. Well done, Steven says. Liam says, yeah, gulp, but he's happy. Kate's like, I got out of this one. A lot of relieved hugs. Sophie's disappointed. She didn't get Star Baker. Maybe next week. Noel kisses Steven on the cheek. He hugs Chris, who's leaving. Alien to me. Oh, this is so beautiful. Steven's commentary and so relatable. He said, I can't get used to this feeling. It's alien to me. I've bullied myself so much, and I'm finally getting praised. I don't know what to do with it. I've been there. And Flo said, I expected to leave. She gives Liam a huge super hug. Not getting rid of me that easy, she says. And with that, the episode ends. Another enjoyable trip off to the baking off to bed. Good night. All right, I want to thank everybody that became a patron recently. Laura, Josh, and Sandra. Thanks. Good night. Cathal, NP, and Celeste. Thank you. Good night. Marie, Katrina, and Connor. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Allie, Christina, and Catherine. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Shelley, Jesse, and Elizabeth. Thanks, and good night. Gina, Michelle, and Deirdre. Thanks, and good night. Team K, Rebecca, and Helen. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Maddie, Kale, and Ariane. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Scott, Merwin, and Jasmine. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Caitlin, Glenda, and Charlene. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Sam, Julie, and Robert. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Kelly, Irish Fox, and Aaron. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Addison, Vanessa, and Griffin. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Glenn, Melissa, and Michael. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. And Lisa and Carla. Thanks, and good night. Thanks, everybody, for supporting the show on Patreon, supporting our sponsors, spreading the word about the show. Could not do it without you. So I really appreciate the support, and thank you so much. And here's a little bit more about our referral program. Thanks. Hey, everybody, as I tuck in here, I just want to let you know the most comfortable way to listen to Sleep With Me. 3 different models to choose from are sleep phones, soft speakers inside a soft, stretchy headband, nothing poking in your ear, nothing hard. You could get wireless version, Bluetooth version, and we have a bunch of different Sleep With Me branded versions at sleepwithmepodcast.com/sleepphones. And make sure to use our coupon code to save $5 at Sleep With Me. Go over to sleepwithmepodcast.com/sleepphones and you sleep with me. Thanks.